Welcome to TMZ Live. So, we have two stories for you. We're going to build up one and then knock it down.
Great.
Let's build it up first.
All right.
There are reports, and we've heard this too from law enforcement, that Taylor Swift is actually getting married a week from today, on the 2nd of July, at Madison Square Garden, with 100 people present.
That's the day before the 1,000-person event that we told you is going to be going down on July 3rd.
At Madison Square Garden.
Happening at Madison Square Garden also.
So we are told that somehow they are going to use this venue twice. And they are we know, we've already told you, they're closing streets down from the 2nd.
Starting on July 2nd through midday July 4th. They have the streets, they have permits for this. The streets will be shut down. The permit mentions canopies, trucks, tents that will be set up on those streets outside of Madison Square Garden.
So we can tell you with real confidence that this party on July 3rd is going to go down at Madison Square Garden with 1,000 people. We know about the
massive stage that's being built for it, right? So
we know, we are confident. We know that there's massive security that's planned for that day, and security not just with the police, but Madison Square Garden as well. Here's the thing. So we're told that, yes, July 2nd, and we got this from law enforcement, that's the date of the wedding, with 100 people. And now, I made a phone call to somebody who would absolutely, positively be in a position to know with respect to Madison Square Garden.
Would know what's going down at the Garden. Right.
They know what's going down on the 3rd. Nothing on the 2nd.
Don't know anything about the 2nd.
But we do know this, that there is no additional security that has been requested on July 2nd at Madison Square Garden.
And your point being that if Taylor was going to be there actually having her wedding, why wouldn't there be additional security, even though it's only 100 people and not 1,000?
But it's Taylor.
The fact that Taylor is there would be. We just told you about this last week when she was in Rhode Island. All the security that came in once she showed up.
That's right. So, and there are going to be famous people there.
So what is it you're saying, Harvey? That if there's no security, it's basically there can't be a Taylor there without security.
Is this a Taylor Swift decoy?
Chat thinks.
Is it a decoy?
Chat thinks yes. They're saying they think she's already been married. They just want to.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. She could be.
Smoke and mirrors to throw people off, take some attention elsewhere while they do what they're really doing, getting married.
And so, the interesting thing about this too is the New York Times reported this.
Yes.
And
the July 2nd.
The July
wedding.
2nd.
Right.
They reported it today. And there's somebody I talked to who is connected to all of this, who said, why would you think she wouldn't want to embarrass the media to show she can get over on them? And I thought, that's kind of a bold statement.
So, by the way, look, and it very well may be a decoy. We've been saying this since we started reporting on this, that
but we know
at any
the 3rd.
moment, we know the 3rd is happening only because we know about the stage, and then we found out about the permits. The 3rd is locked.
Well,
and we also know people who are going.
Well, we also have Madison Square Garden connections, which nailed that down.
We locked that
2
one
weeks
down
ago.
on a lot of different
2 weeks
fronts.
ago.
But we've been saying that Taylor, someone in fact told us early on when we were reporting about the Garden that her changing her mind, her pivoting because people find out things is absolutely a reality.
We were absolutely told that.
Right.
How do you get married with 100 people at Madison Square Garden with there's 19,000 seat venue?
Right.
How do you get 100 people and make this a wedding?
This morning, as we were thinking about it, I thought that maybe they were going to use. There's a smaller theater for the wedding. They would use a smaller theater that's connected to it. It used to be called the Felt Forum. It's called the Infosys Theater now.
So remember what Donald Trump, the terrible term he used to refer to certain countries around the world?
Yes. That's the term that was
spoke
used.
to somebody connected to Madison Square Garden who said it was a theater.
That type of place.
And that there's no way that place
Although
is going to be.
that looks
No, I know,
kind of
but
nice.
what I was told is it's going to be torn down.
Right. That they're eventually just
Now,
gonna
the
tear
other
down.
thing that we haven't talked about is if this happens on July 2nd, where they shut down all the streets.
Oh,
and
man. New
it's
York
like,
City
this
is
the-
gonna be-
That's the getaway day, and this is Penn Station, where the trains are. And so.
I mean, there are trains other places
I
in
understand
the city
that,
as well.
but Penn Station is the hub.
But you can still get to. They're not shutting down Penn Station.
No, but how do you get to Penn Station?
Underground.
Okay, but they're blocking off
Yes.
blocks.
The point is, yes, it will cause a traffic
That
nightmare.
word Donald Trump used about the country.
You could use it
it's
here
a
also.
blank show. The whole thing.
Yes, because in the center of the city on July 2nd, that is going to be,
Blank show.
yes, absolute blank show.
Hey, I'm Gabrielle calling in from LA. I think that this whole thing could be a decoy just because having an event at Madison Square Garden is really intimate for a billionaire.
We're virtually certain the third is going to go down.
Yeah, there are too many
I
things
don't know about the
in
second,
motion
man.
there, but the second,
I don't know about that. I just don't know
I
about
do
it.
think if they're not married already, which is possible,
They could be.
that there will be. It makes sense to get married the day before you have this huge party. It's just where they're going to get married.
Why does it matter? The people
Why
who
does it matter? Because you don't want to separate the events too much because
They're not gonna
most of the people who are going to come for your smaller wedding are also going to be at this bigger party.
That's true.
So you don't want to separate them too much.
But what if she got married, say, in Rhode Island?
That's certainly, well, and that's the other thing. 100 people, she can move 100 people like that easily by plane,
That's right.
train, bus, whatever, helicopters. That she can do. So
look,
she's got options.
we've done a lot of investigating, and here's our conclusion. We don't know.
I don't know. The mystery about Whitney Houston's appearance on Oprah Winfrey's show in 2009 is just getting a little deeper here.
And a little clearer.
There are two versions of what went down. You know, this all started with Oprah saying this week while she was in France, she mentioned that during that 2009 appearance, the way she described it, Whitney showed up high on drugs for her performance and that she fell off the stage.
And then Oprah went to her audience and said, you may have taken video or photos of this. I am begging you, do not publicize these. Don't show them to anybody. And she said the audience listened to her and the pictures never came out. So nobody knew this. Nobody knew this until Oprah said it this week.
Until Oprah decided to mention it this week. Well, as we reported, that Whitney Houston's estate, in particular her sister-in-law Pat Houston, is enraged by this, says that, one, Whitney was not high on drugs that day. She acknowledges that she obviously had issues with drugs, but says she was not high on drugs, and that day, and what actually happened is that there was a hole in the stage and it was dark, and she kind of blamed Oprah or her production for the way the stage was laid out and said that, why would Oprah bring this up now?
So now it seems to be a standoff, Oprah against the estate, but we got some new information.
We have
a witness.
New eyewitness testimony from someone.
As Marvin Gaye would say,
yeah,
we got a witness.
In fact, the witness's name is Watson, Ray Watson.
I presume.
Whitney's longtime bodyguard. Here is what he told Charlie about that day.
She was coming toward the front of the stage, and it's a drop off, and it's sort of like a dark spot there. So when she got to the edge, I think somebody told her, "Watch, be careful, watch it." And then she went down. But so we got to her, but she got up. Matter of fact, she made fun about it.
Oprah had suggested that she had relapsed and the fall was due to her being high. Do you think that was the case?
No, I think the case was she didn't really know that stage. She's dead. She's gone. My sister gone.
Yeah.
So she can't say, no, I know that. No, I wasn't. You might think I was, but I was not. She can't say that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that guy was pretty compelling.
Pretty compelling. And I also asked him, was there any indication at all that you felt maybe she could be impaired? Maybe you didn't see her doing drugs, but maybe she was like a
Yeah.
little off. He said, absolutely not. That was not her in public. And he said, look, yes, during that time, she was like going through some, problems, just like Pat Houston had said. But that day, he said that was definitely not the case. She even kind of screamed when she fell off of the stage and, was really like quick on her feet. And like he said, made a joke of it. When I asked him if Oprah should apologize, because I feel like there's kind of like a steady drumbeat online of people wanting Oprah to come out and apologize to the estate and to fans. He said that she should only do it if she actually feels that way, and it needs to be genuine.
Yeah, we'll see. I have a theory, and my theory is this, that if, in fact, there was a hole in the stage and it was dark, in every state, there are laws that say a property owner, and in this case, Harpo, where it was done, a property owner is responsible for a dangerous condition on the property. And a hole in a stage in the dark is a dangerous condition. So I would think if she fell, one of the things that people around Oprah are saying is, holy crap, we may have injured one of the most famous singers in the world, and we have liability here.
Right.
So there may have been people who are saying, well, she was high on drugs, and it became a lore that became the truth, even though it wasn't, over years, and that Oprah is now kind of conveying it the way that everybody was talking about it in the moment when they were panicking.
Hi, my name is Nola Singer, and I'm from South Carolina. I, however, believe the bodyguard over Oprah because Oprah has been out of touch for years now, and I think we wouldn't even be here if Oprah wasn't a weirdo for telling us a story that we didn't even ask for. I think it's weird that she told her audience not to tell us, and for her to come out years to tell us this story. But I'm glad everyone is telling the truth about what happened. Like, we all knew that Whitney struggled with drugs. I think we should just let her rest in peace, and Oprah need to stop being a widow.
This is really interesting. This is one of the few times that
We don't see Oprah take L's on anything usually.
Right.
And it just seems like, as Charlie put it, there's a drumbeat. People want an apology. I don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't either.
I feel like maybe this Oprah moves on from this.
Coming up.
Some members of Congress are weighing in on a big controversy that started with baseball teams having Pride Night.
Have your gay sex flags, fine. But the players should not have to succumb to that if it's not what they believe.
Be right back.
Want to play ball? As they say at the old ballpark, some members of Congress are weighing in on a big controversy that started with baseball teams having Pride Night, in particular, the San Francisco Giants. And the debate that has erupted is over what the players, some of them, wanted to write on their ball caps.
So there
what
was
you're looking at there is the SF with the rainbow in there, and that was for Pride Night. Those were the hats that the league and the team sanctioned all players to wear.
Now, you see the writing there. Some of the players did an add-on by writing a scripture from the Bible.
Yes, Genesis chapter 9, and it speaks about the rainbow being this covenant with God. It's after the flood, and a rainbow appears, and that's how they view the rainbow.
So it's an alternative way of looking at the hat, which is what they wanted to do.
Right. So now...
Well, we should say, the MLB came after those players initially saying...
You can't do that.
You can't essentially deface...
You can't alter your uniform
that's right.
because it's not sanctioned by us.
Well, the Pride rainbow was, but the scripture wasn't.
And so now the Department of Justice is investigating to see if these players, if their religious freedom was infringed upon. Now, in D.C., our TMZ D.C. guys are out there talking to members of Congress about this. And Lauren Boebert, Congresswoman from Colorado, has some very strong feelings about that rainbow and where it should be displayed and whether these players really had their rights infringed upon.
You're not into Pride Night at baseball games.
I'm not.
You're not.
No.
But it's like, in my view, it's like, who's it hurting? It's like
No,
you
that's fine.
wear a hat and it has like a LGBTQ flag on it.
Okay, what does it hurt to have Genesis 9 through 12, 12 through 9, chapter 9, 12 through 16. Like, what does that hurt? What does it hurt to say the actual definition of a rainbow? That was the problem. That was the problem. Not that they had any kind of pride uniforms or celebration or whatever. Have your gay sex flags, fine. Like, but you had members of MLB, you had players who quietly wrote scripture on their hats. And suddenly, this is against uniform code. It's pretty common sense that we don't want any sexualization pushed on our children, and that if somebody doesn't
that's not sexualization pushed on kids if you're just wearing like a hat that's like a rainbow on it.
Okay, first of all, we know what it means, but I mean specifically if you're going into our schools and having comprehensive sex ed. And
I'm
all
talking
of this,
about a sports
I understand.
game.
I'm going deeper than that. Have your nights, whatever, but the players should not have to succumb to that if it's not what they believe and it's not what they want to do. And God forbid, they should be able to write a scripture that says, sure, I'll comply with what the uniform, I'll be a team player, but this is what I believe.
So here's the thing. Number one, it is not a gay sex flag, as Lauren Boebert said. It is not a gay sex flag. That is not the point of it. But
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing, but it was funny the way she said it.
Of course you should be laughing.
All right, have your gay sex flag.
But she does, I think, make a point that in a way, she's almost like she would let it ride and say nothing about, oh, I object to gay pride night or anything like that. What she's talking about is if other players want to express their view, and it's not a view that's necessarily like condemning gays, but it's putting a Bible scripture on, that the MLB went after them. It's like, why would the MLB just not let that ride and just let the night go the way it did?
Here's what I think, and maybe we're doing like a little role reversal here, but here's what I think hurts the players' argument. They didn't have to wear those hats. There is a policy that allows the players to opt out and they can wear their regular San Francisco Giants cap.
Oh, so they didn't even have to wear the rainbow.
Right, and one player did.
Did they know that?
That's what's up for debate here. There's an argument over whether that was properly conveyed to the players. In fact, Senator Josh Hawley says, no, the Giants didn't tell the players. But there was one player, one pitcher, who wore his regular hat. So somebody knew that they didn't have to wear the pride hat.
Or they just did it in defiance.
Maybe he didn't know.
I didn't think of that. That could
and
be.
he just said, screw it, I'm doing what I want.
That could be.
So we also, Jacob, got Congressman Richie Torres out. Richie Torres is openly gay. And Jacob asked him, this is the other side of the coin. This, too, is interesting.
I'm all for Pride Night because, for me, America's greatest asset is our diversity. Like, we are a multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, LGBTQ inclusive democracy. And we have to send a powerful message that there's space for everyone in America, including the LGBTQ community. And if anyone has a problem with it, look, we're here, we're queer, and we're not going to.
Well, what about players? Because, there were some people in the San Francisco Giants who, out of protest, they wrote Bible verses on their hat, which, are kind of signaling that they're against gay marriage.
I feel like that kind of homophobia is a relic of the past.
See, that I was with him until the end. That when they look, I personally do not subscribe to the Bible verse.
Right.
But
even that Bible verse, and I think
it's not homophobic.
There in that.
It's not a homophobic Bible
verse, right?
And to dismiss it as homophobia, there are people who believe in the Bible, and there's a constitutional right to believe in the Bible. I may not, but other people have a constitutional right to, and I think to dismiss that as homophobia is misguided. I do.
Yeah. I agree. No, I think you're absolutely right.
No, it's so weird. Wait, are you guys agreeing?
I know. I just don't understand. I was prepared to argue with you, and
both things can be displayed.
That's right.
And the league's got to make that clear.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Chaz. I'm calling from Waterford, Michigan, and so I don't see anything wrong with protesting what you don't agree with. That is our American right protected by freedom of assembly. My problem with the clip is Rep. Boebert. Her tone and how she's speaking down on the LGBTQ people as if she is better or she has no tolerance for people like that. Honestly, it's sad. People don't understand each other anymore. Whether you think it's right or wrong, you don't have to be nasty. And that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about the tone. And we should say, the Bible verse itself is just talking about their definition
rainbow.
of the
Of a rainbow.
rainbow. But I think it's probably not a stretch to say that the reason those players were putting that on there is they don't like the fact that the rainbow has sort of been co-opted by the LGBT.
And I get
the
it.
way they would put
They
it.
could have done it more directly from the Bible if they wanted to.
There are
and made
other
it more-
verses that
made
they
it
could
more
have-
aggressive.
Right.
But again,
And then that would, but then that would be okay. Now you're crossing over into sort of a using hateful language,
which they didn't, and I guess
they didn't.
And I
right.
guess the point is,
If they
that
half-stepped,
we're all talking about. Oh, you got to be more tolerant. Well, yes, but you have to be tolerant with people you disagree with, and you can't like dismiss them on either side.
Right.
And I think that's where we're losing things.
Coming up.
One of the worst areas for years has been Skid Row in downtown LA. And while there is very clearly a humanitarian crisis there is also a crisis that some people have brought attention to, and that is the fact that there are a lot of animals down there.
That French bulldog you're showing, it had 6 drugs in his system. For days was lying there suffering.
It's terrible.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Donnell Rawlings took TMZ DC on a city tour.
You know what the irony of this is? A black man takes a white person to the White House.
It's TMZ.
Well, one thing the LA mayoral race definitely put a spotlight on in LA is the homeless problem. We heard everyone talking about it, and fewer people actually doing something about it that we saw anyway. But it certainly was a big topic. Now, one of the worst areas for years has been Skid Row in downtown LA. And while there is very clearly a humanitarian crisis there is also a crisis that some people have brought attention to. And that is the fact that there are a lot of animals down there, a lot of pets, dogs in particular, that are also caught up in this crisis. And there are organizations and people who are making an effort to help those animals. And we are very pleased to have 2 of those individuals joining us right now, actor Joey Tuccio and Nola Singer, who is by day an LA stylist, longtime stylist, but she is also on the board of the rescue organization Stand With My Pack. And they are joining us now to talk about this effort. Thank you so much for being with us, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And also, I'm a rescuer with Starts With One Today Animal Rescue, which has been going to Skid Row for years to help the animals. And it's been a battle.
So this is, to me, a very complicated issue because on the one hand, you want to make sure these animals are cared for, fed, they get proper medical care. On the other hand, there are people who are really down and out, and their only real companion may be the dog that sits beside them. And so how do you balance it? How do you come down on this? I mean, is it that they shouldn't have animals because they're really not able to care, or is there some middle ground? How are you dealing with that issue?
Great question. So, I mean, there's definitely 2 teams. One is if you're homeless, no matter where you are, you could have animals. Any homeless person could have an animal. That's not the issue. The issue is the abused, the neglected, the illegally bred dogs on Skid Row. And when I'm just talking about Skid Row specifically, those are the dogs that for years have been overlooked. And we just rescued, another rescue, Compton Paw Patrol just rescued a dying Frenchie that tested positive for 6 drugs. There's a group of pugs that were being inbred for years that 2 of them just starved to death. Another 3 died from a dog attacking them. The mom got run over by a car. I mean, it's just absolute chaos down there. So we need the mayor, we need City Hall to come in and enforce laws. That's the only way that this is going to be fixed.
So look, when Spencer Pratt was running, he famously said to one of the candidates, you want to go down and help people in Skid Row, go down there, you'll get stabbed in the neck. And the reality is, it really is dangerous down there. So, listen, I'm part of the rescue community, and I feel what you're talking about. How do you enforce something like that when you're dealing with people who are, have mental illness, who can be violent, who are on
addiction
drugs.
issues, right.
And then you're going in there to try to rescue animals. It just feels like you're entering a war zone.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, we just talked to somebody, a homeless person on Skid Row that was trying to get help for this litter of newborn puppies that were being used for breeding. When the breeders found out, she was attacked by them by metal pipes, by smashing her with metal pipes. It's extreme. We've been chased by people. We've been threatened by people. But at the end of the day, we're one of the only few groups that are going down there to basically risk our lives to help these animals. And a lot of times we get calls from other homeless people on Skid Row saying, we are so scared to tell anybody about what our neighbors are doing because we could get killed, but we have to tell you because these dogs are dying.
So, Nola, how do you, with that knowledge of knowing what people are up against when they go down there, how do you get people on board with the organization, and how do you prepare them for what they're about to deal with if they've not been down to Skid Row before?
Well, Joey is like an actual hero who goes down there along with some other amazing groups, and they were just responsible for saving this pug puppy that we reported to the city, to Lieutenant Mathis, to animal control. The mayor's office knew that the mom was hit by a car, and this innocent 5 pug puppies died. They took a little puppy, you guys showed a photo, to the vet. Woofall Rescue tried to save it, and in 48 hours, it died a painful death. This is all could have been avoided. And there are animal cruelty laws that are, in effect. And in Los Angeles and California, it's illegal to breed a dog without a breeding license. You have to have, vaccinations and health for your dogs. None of these people on Skid Row are acting, in favor of the animals. And we're doing the best we can. I work on the board of I Stand With My Pack. We mostly rescue from the shelter, but we've helped some animals from Skid Row as well. But Joey is going down there like that French bulldog you're showing. It had 6 drugs in his system for days, was lying there suffering.
It's terrible. It's just
Compton Paws
it's
Rescue
awful.
took that dog and they gave it Narcan. It woke up.
Oh.
I mean, it's still recovering. This is horrible. Drugs are illegal. How is this going on? This is just terrible.
Well, that kind of brings us to the final point, to me at least, which is that, boy, I hear you. But you know what? You get every dog off Skid Row, they'll find other dogs, and then you're just going to keep doing it. It feels to me like the only way to solve this problem is to really go in and solve the homeless problem. Right. And if you don't solve the homeless problem, you're just going to be going down there week after week, year after year, under the same circumstances. So it feels like the solution is ultimately, we got to solve this homeless problem because in LA, it is out of control.
It's completely out of control. And there's a lot of people on Skid Row that are not homeless. They live in other cities. Some live in other states, but they know they can do their illegal business on Skid Row because they don't get in trouble. We're dealing with somebody there that half the dog's body was burned off. Ugh. He lives in Arizona, but he does his breeding here because he could get away with it.
Well, that's the first thing they got to shut down, the breeding.
Yeah. You guys are
thank you for
doing
your
amazing
what
work.
You're doing, and I know
amazing.
On most days, I'm sure it's got to feel like you're trying to plug a dam. You fix
and
one
emotionally
problem.
wrenching.
Right. Mm-hmm. So thank you for
thank you for
doing that
giving
every
us
day.
a voice and making this an issue that people can be aware of, because we really need all the help we can get. So we're so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to help those organizations, Joey was saying it's Starts With One Today is the organization he's working with, and Nola's is I Stand With My Pack.
Coming up.
Jason Kelce was down on the Jersey Shore at a bar with his mom was part of this also. Someone wanted Jason to drink a particular shot. I don't even know what you would call this, but watch what was handed to him and what he did with it.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. We're pretty certain Jason Kelce is going to end up being the best man, right?
It's going to cost him an arm and a leg.
Oh, boy. Oh, see what he did there? You guys don't even know what a brilliant transition that was because you haven't seen the clip yet. But yes, Jason Kelce was down on the Jersey Shore at a bar with his mom was part of this also. Donna was there helping him as it was all a charity event to support autism research. and he was bartending. No big deal. Jason Kelce, look, Donna's handing out shots. But someone wanted Jason to drink a particular shot. I don't even know what you would call this, but watch what was handed to him and what he did with it. What he's drinking from there, if you don't figure it out, that is a prosthetic leg with an Eagle sticker on it, by the way.
By the way, a prosthetic leg, not just a prop, but it was somebody's in the crowd.
Yeah, they took it off and they wanted to show their Eagle fandom.
Talk about a conversation starter. I mean, there's already what happened to your leg, but now you get, well, on top of it, I got Jason Kelce chugging from it. Eagles fans probably losing their minds over this.
I hope Jason signed it for them afterwards.
He did sign it.
Who is more fun than Jason Kelce? Like, name a person.
The whole family, honestly. Like, you could follow them all.
The whole family, but Jason in particular.
What is going to happen at this wedding?
Yeah, true. There's a little liver training.
There's going to be, it's going to go off the rails at some point. It's going to go off the rails.
He also did a more traditional shoe.
Would you rather do it out of a shoe or out of a prosthetic leg?
I think I would do the prosthetic leg.
Is that really somebody? Is that somebody's shoe?
Yes. It's a shoey. You never. They've done over in sports.
Does he ever drink out of glasses? Do we think, or out of?
No. Does he ever just have a regular frosty mug?
This is actually really interesting about the wedding because that
Culture
wedding
clash.
Well, yes, because it's going to be hoity-toity and down home, and you're going to see both of them there.
What's going on? It's Manny from Atlanta, and it seems that Team 62 had another success with Jason Kelce. Drinking out of prosthetic legs, I mean, this man is such a who. He is a good time. Look at that. I know the Eagles are going crazy, but what would have been even more crazy is he would have gave us another striptease like he did last year when they raised $1 million. I'm sure the money was flying for that, and we want to know if they had another success just as well as that one last year.
It's kind of hard to, I don't know what he's going to do next year to top drinking out of a prosthetic leg. President Trump talking smack about former President Obama.
Jose.
Exactly. Every single day you hear him mention Obama's name.
He's obsessed with Obama.
He really is. So what does Obama think about that? Well, he actually talked about it. He went on the All the Smoke podcast and said that the guy that you see saying all those wild things about me, that's not the guy when the cameras are not and there are no microphones around. Here's what he said about his interactions with Trump.
The leader of this current administration is still very fascinated with you and your family, constantly bringing you guys up. And you've been out of office nearly 10 years now. How do you continue to keep your cool and take the high road, so to speak?
I obviously, have a room in his head.
Rent free. You do everything with grace.
A suite in his head. The other thing I believe in, and part of what we try to teach in our leadership training is, I believe in face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if whoever you were talking about was in front of me, which has happened a couple times, he don't talk like that because he knows better.
It's weird.
Actually, he wouldn't say his name. He's like, the person you were talking about.
Michelle and Barack Obama never say his name.
Right. He said the person you were talking about.
Right.
He knows better.
Never do. That's an interesting take. I have a slightly different take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew Donald Trump for 10, 15 years, and I haven't had any communication with him in 9 years.
Right.
But before he became president, he is a different person face to face than he is when you see him on camera. And, Bill Maher says, this is him playing president, which is really kind of an interesting take on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is weird because I can understand that he would not talk that way to Obama face to face. They were at a funeral where they were laughing together.
It was at Carter's funeral, and that they were buddy.
He is a different persona.
The guy
when
that
he
Trump
wants
says
to be.
he hates so much and blames for everything, he sat there and was cracking jokes with him.
That's right.
So
It is a complicated thing, but I think Bill Maher just nailed it. That in terms of the personality, he is playing the role of president.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Look who was doing our podcast.
Man. Jackass.
Oh, man.
Jackass 5.
I got to tell you a story. Okay. The last time this guy was in our office, do you remember?
Was it the stapling bit?
Yes.
Be right back.
Charles.
Yeah.
Charles. Look who was doing our podcast.
Man.
Jackass.
Oh, man.
Jackass 5. The final. What's going on, Steve? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, I got to tell you a story.
Okay.
The last time this guy was in our office, do you remember?
Was it the stapling bit?
Yes.
Of course he remembers it. How could you forget?
I'm actually surprised you remember it.
Right. I mean, I've definitely had more interaction with TMZ since then, and
With your pants up.
right, and across the board,
He stapled.
it's been a wonderful relationship with you guys, and I think that I'm able to say that because of the trajectory that I've been on
Totally.
in my life, and so I don't have a fear about like what you guys might find out about me or reveal about me. Like I'm an
You
open
kind of
book.
put it all out there.
Yeah, I'm
Literally,
the one who contacts you
the
guys.
first time you came over.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, I got to tell you, we've done this now for 21 years at TMZ.
Right.
And, you know, we followed people, their trajectory, and some go up and
Right.
some go down. You went like this, and you came back up. And that's the win.
I appreciate it so much.
That's
And-
the win.
Yeah, I appreciate it so much.
That is the
And-
win.
And despite my improvements, I've remained an attention whore.
You know what? Oh my God! Thank you for it. See,
That's
Yeah.
so refreshing.
He will admit
Yeah.
it.
That is so refreshing.
And I've been the one to alert you guys
Right.
when I feel something deserves your attention.
And by the way,
Which makes our life
your news.
so much
By the way, your
easier.
news judgment is spot on.
Yes.
Because
Thank you.
every time we show up, it is definitely newsworthy.
I want to ask you something because I'm really fascinated just by the psychology of all of this.
Yeah.
So you went through insane times,
Yes.
just insane times with you know
Substance
abuse,
fame,
and but just the substance abuse made you so crazy, and you've come out of it, and you've come out of it really strong. Is when you look back, do you regret it or do you look at it as a building block?
I mean, it occurs to me that there are moments, there are even chapters that I would love to be able to go back and not repeat. But boy, would I not trade in anything to have arrived at where I am now.
Okay, tell us about the movie.
Best and
Okay.
last. Best and last. By the way, we wanted to show some B-roll of you guys arriving at the premiere. We can't because you stepped out of a thing that looked like a body part that I can't really describe here.
Close to the stapling thing.
Yes.
Right.
Next door.
Right.
Exactly. Adjacent.
Well, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
It's such a wonderful thing. You know, like we talk about my trajectory and like there's just there's so much time that's on display. This whole franchise in its totality and so many different, I'm looking at myself in this film, like young footage, all of us, it's like, who are these guys? They're so young, almost unrecognizable to who we are today. But the one thing that's remained a constant throughout is our unmitigated joy. You cannot
It really
pretend.
does look like you guys are just having
It doesn't.
fun
It
when you do
doesn't.
this, despite the things you're doing, which are terrifying, but it just looks like you're having fun.
It
Like you're all
doesn't
just hanging
look
out.
Like it. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't. It would be impossible to pretend to be as joyful as we are when we're rolling on the floor, legitimately laughing from our souls.
Right.
And it just strikes me that that's what Jackass is, and that's the message, and that's what it's about. It's to find joy in your life, because that's why we're here. If you're struggling to find joy, We got it. We've got it.
You've got a whole movie full of it.
I am just so happy the way you landed here.
Well, thank you.
I really mean it.
Hey, and congrats on everything. I whenever I can be of service to you guys and get some attention out of it.
If we can get some content, you can get some attention. We work it out.
Don't encourage him.
It's a match made in heaven.
Don't encourage him.
A match made in heaven. I love you guys so much.
Oh,
Congrats
same
on
here.
everything.
Right back at you.
Yeah. Awesome,
All right,
guys.
man.
Thanks, man.
For sure. Hey,
Check
thank
it
you.
out.
Coming up.
Lionel Richie kicked off his tour last night. He's touring with Earth, Wind & Fire. Unfortunately, last night's show, which started in Minnesota, and he didn't do the full show. We're told that he actually was transported to a hospital by ambulance.
Be right back.
Lionel Richie kicked off his tour last night. He's touring with Earth, Wind & Fire.
What a show.
Yes. Actually, they toured together a few years ago.
I didn't know
It's
that.
an amazing show. Unfortunately, last night's show, which started in Minnesota, and he didn't do the full show. Lionel actually had to cut it short because he was, as he described to fans, and he said this on stage, that he was feeling dizzy, feeling strange, and actually said, you know what? Best thing for me to do in this situation is just sit on your ass. And so he sat down a couple of times while performing Dancing on the Ceiling, which is a very high energy moment, obviously, during the show. He kept singing, which is really impressive. You want to talk about being a pro. Sat there, and after that song, he went backstage, and they came back out. Someone else in the band said, we're going to have to cut the show short. Lionel's really not feeling well. We're told that he actually was transported to a hospital by ambulance after the show.
But we're not certain at this point whether he was at all, whether he was admitted to the hospital.
Yeah.
He may or may not have been.
There have been a precautionary thing.
Yeah.
We have not heard yet what his current situation is,
Now,
but
there is a show scheduled tomorrow night.
Chicago.
And we have not heard yet what the plan is. I don't think they've made a decision on that yet, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's probably a precautionary measure for him to go to the hospital. So many people online now are saying, you're in your 70s, hang it up, you got to stop this. We just saw this with Rod
Can we
Stewart.
stop this?
I'm with you. Like, he could have
gonna be
gotten
okay.
sick. Any artist could get sick. We see younger artists cancel
It's
shows
really bothering me.
all the time. I know. But if he can do it, he wants to do it, people want to go see him, keep doing it.
And by the way, when you hear, even when he was sitting down, he was still singing full throat. Like, he was not, it didn't sound weak.
Well, something happened.
Yeah,
I mean, we just don't know. We just
Something
don't know.
happened,
We just don't
and-
know what
and
it
he
is.
admits it that
Yeah,
something
we just don't know
happened,
what it is. But wish him well.
Coming up.
Well, there is a new look at the Kennedys. It's a Netflix series called Kennedy.
How is that his mother?
Be right back.
Well, there is a new look at the Kennedys. It's a Netflix series called Kennedy.
Kind of like The Crown, where they go season after season after season. And there is a lot with the Kennedys.
Plenty. And they have started filming over in Europe. Who you're looking at here, that is Laura Donnelly playing Rose Kennedy. And on the right is Joshua Melnick playing JFK, a very young JFK.
A very young JFK is same age as his mother. I
do
don't
seem to
understand
be
this
the same
casting.
age. I mean,
how is that his mother? How is that Rose Kennedy?
Rose would have to be. He looks. Let's say he's in his late teens here, right? Still,
That's not
Rose
his
should
mother.
look a little. They shouldn't look to be the same age. I agree.
They look the same age to me. This is
maybe
weird.
JFK looked older earlier than, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Well, we're gonna write to the producers. Figure this out.
Okay, we'll give you notes. We'll see you tomorrow.